China's latest AI breakthrough has leapfrogged the world.
I think we should take the development out of China very, very seriously.
A game-changing move that does not come from OpenAI, Google, or Meta,
There is a new model that has all of the valley buzzing.
but from a Chinese lab called DeepSeek.
China is about to pop the AI bubble. An American AI model was given a coding task. It completed the task in approximately 5.5 minutes and charged $2.33. A Chinese model completed the same task in roughly the same amount of time and its cost 31 cents. Now, one test does not prove that China has defeated American AI, but it exposes a problem that could become much bigger than model rankings. America is preparing to spend close to $1 trillion a year building the most powerful artificial intelligence infrastructure in history. China, on the other side, is almost spending 10 times less. Yet Chinese companies are increasingly producing models with similar capabilities at a fraction of the price. And that creates a question that Silicon Valley does not want to answer. How do American companies recover trillions of dollars in investment when competitors are making intelligence dramatically cheaper or just giving it away? Because this is no longer only a race to build the smartest AI. It is the race to control the economics of AI. And if China wins that race, it could expose the assumption supporting some of the world's most valuable companies. And this may be how AI bubble begins to break. Cheapest Chinese models are actually the third problem. The first problem is more fundamental. That is, companies do not trust AI. Imagine spending 50 million introducing AI throughout your company. Then during next board meeting, someone asks, what do we actually receive from that $50 million? For many companies, there's still no clear answer. AI providers usually charge businesses based on token usage. A token is essentially a small piece of text processed or generated by the model. The company pays whether the response creates millions of dollars in value or confidently invents something completely false. And that creates an uncomfortable question. If these models can reliably create billion-dollar businesses, why do AI companies charge for usage? Why not say, you pay us nothing unless we produce a measurable financial result?
If it was so valuable, let's say I can make you $1 billion tomorrow. Wouldn't I say, I'll make you $1 billion and I want 30%? Why are they charging for tokens if it's so valuable?
The reason is that no one can guarantee the output. AI models still hallucinate, they can provide incorrect information with complete confidence, and even people building them cannot fully predict when that will happen. But unreliable answers are only part of trust problem. The bigger concern is data. When businesses sense internal documents, customer information, processes, trade secrets into an external AI model, it may also be giving away the knowledge that makes that business valuable, its competitive advantage, its intellectual property, its special sauce. So businesses are beginning to ask,
Who owns the data? Where is it cached? Are the prompts secure? Is this being transferred to you?
what happens when AI companies learn from everything we provide? Could these vendors we are paying eventually become our competitor? That concern became more visible after Anthropic introduced a design-related AI product while working with Figma, reportedly surprising Figma's leadership. Whether or not that specific example becomes a major conflict, the message to business is powerful. You could be paying an AI company while helping it train your replacement. This is why government and large corporations increasingly want AI systems that they control themselves. They want to own the infrastructure, control the model, protect the data, and ensure nobody can suddenly switch access off. Even if every trust problem disappears tomorrow, AI would still face a second and potentially larger problem. The business model may be broken. Traditional software is one of the greatest business models ever created. A company spends money building the product once. After that, distributing it to an additional customer costs almost nothing. Think of it. Microsoft does not build new version of Excel every time someone subscribes. That's why revenue rises much faster than costs. That gap becomes the profit. AI changes this equation. Every time someone asks an AI model a question, the company must use computing power. Electricity is consumed, expensive chips are used, data centers must process the request. More customers create more revenue, but more customers also create more costs. That means AI behaves less like a traditional software and more like a restaurant. Every time the restaurant serves another meal, it must buy more ingredients. Except many AI companies currently lose money on the meal they serve, and they plan to solve that problem by serving dramatically more meals. Optimistic argument is that cost will eventually fall as the business scales. That happened with companies like Amazon, but with generative AI, cost may continue rising alongside revenue because newer and more capable models require enormous amount of computing power, and the risk is spreading beyond AI labs. Oracle and other infrastructure providers are building enormous data center projects based on the assumption that small group of AI companies will eventually generate enough revenue to pay them off. Smaller cloud providers are also borrowing billions of dollars to purchase Nvidia chips. In some arrangements, Nvidia may then rent computing capacities back from those same companies. That creates a circular looking system. Companies borrow money to buy Nvidia chips, Nvidia records the sales, then Nvidia helps create demand for computing capacity produced by those chips. But this does not prove that the demand is fake. But it raises an important question. How much AI demand comes from profitable customers and how much comes from industry financing its own expansion? Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta are collectively spending hundreds of billions of dollars on AI infrastructure. Yet they rarely disclose clear standalone AI revenue and profit figures. These companies report cloud revenue, advertising revenue, subscription revenue, YouTube revenue. Almost every successful part of their business is measured. So if AI already produces extraordinary returns, why those returns are so difficult to identify? The entire market is being asked to remain patient. The profits will come later. And when they arrive, American companies will supposedly collect them because the world will have no alternative. But the world now has an alternative. The United States of America is attempting to win by building the most powerful AI model on earth. China, on the other side, is taking a different approach. Its companies are producing models that may not always rank number one, but are often capable enough, significantly cheaper, and increasingly open source. And this may be how AI bubble begins to break. The West American model still leads the technological frontier, but most businesses do not need the smartest model ever created. For example, an insurance company does not need a model capable of solving the hardest scientific problem in history. It needs a model that processes claims accurately. A customer service department needs something that can answer routine emails. A company summarizing documents need reliability, privacy, and low cost. And for most corporate tasks, good enough may be more valuable than the best in the world. And Chinese models such as DeepSeek, Kimi, MiniMax, GLM are increasingly filling this middle of the market. China can reduce the development cost partially through a technique called distillation. Instead of training every model from the beginning at an enormous expense, developers can use the outputs of more advanced models to train a smaller and a cheaper one. These models can then be distributed openly, allowing companies to download them, modify them, and run them privately. Chinese food delivery company Qwen even developed a model capable of competing with systems created by specialized American AI labs. If food delivery company can build a competitive AI, how durable is the advantage of companies spending hundreds of billions of dollars? In some tasks, Chinese models are reportedly providing similar performance at a discount of more than 70%. That is the real threat. You cannot easily recover a $1 trillion investment when a competitor offers most of the capabilities for a fraction of the price. So when does the AI bubble actually burst? The obvious answer would be when companies stop building data centers. History suggests the market may move much earlier. During dot-com bubble, the technology stocks began collapsing before telecom companies stopped spending billions on fiber optic infrastructure. The markets did not wait for executives to admit that too much had been built. The market changed when investors stopped believing the story. This time, the turning point may begin with one boring sentiment during an earning call, such as, "We are moderating the pace of our AI infrastructure investment." The first major technology company rewarded by Wall Street for reducing AI spending could give every other CEO permission to do the same. Suddenly, cutting AI infrastructure would no longer look like falling behind. It would look financially responsible. So there are three important warning signs to watch. First, a major hyperscaler such as Microsoft, Amazon, Google, or Meta reducing its planned capital expenditure. Second, AI companies struggling to raise money or finance new data centers. Third, credit spreads begin to rise. Credit spread measures how much additional interest lenders demand to fund risky companies. When lenders feel safe, spreads remain low. But when they become nervous, borrowing costs rise. Today, credit spreads remain historically calm, but they were also calm shortly before 2008 financial crisis. Credit markets do not measure what is actually true. They measure what lenders currently believe. But there are other possible warning signs. Chip companies are trading near the upper end of the historical valuation ranges. Companies selling AI infrastructure have significantly outperformed many other companies paying for it, and the price customers pay for AI tokens has shown signs of weakening as demand moves towards cheaper models. But none of this proves that AI bubble will collapse tomorrow. American companies may discover new revenue streams. Computing costs may fall dramatically. AI products may eventually generate profits large enough to justify the spending. But the entire boom currently rests on one belief: spending more money will eventually create an unbeatable technological advantage. China is now testing the opposite theory. The winner of AI may not be the company that creates the smartest model. It may be the company that makes intelligence so cheap that no one can charge a premium for it. And if that happens, China will not need to destroy American AI. It only needs to destroy its profit margins.